Shalom, shalom. I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Al Shai for going over this lesson. Okay, Deuteronomy 21 chapter, marriage to female captives, and the law regarding death and hanging. Let's get into it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 21 and verse 1. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who have slain him. Now this is going into uncertain murders in the ancient world and how to resolve these issues. Verse 2. Then thy elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. The elders and the judges is our forefather, and they shall come forth and measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. Verse 3. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take an heifer which had not been wrought with, and which had not drawn in the yoke. Right. Let's go to Numbers 35 and 10, okay? All right. Let's go to number 35 and 10, all right? Kind of ancient world, we had refuge cities. Let's get some precepts on that, okay? We had refuge cities to run to. This is Numbers 35 and verse 10, okay? Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come over Jordan into the land of Canaan. Verse 11. Then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killed it any person at unawares. Now in the ancient world, when you commit a murder, they will set up refuge cities for you to flee to. Verse 12. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge, from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment. Meaning, if something had happened in haste and someone get put to death, and that man can take up upon himself to execute judgment, and he got to bring it forth to the elder and have 2 or 3 witnesses, and things had to be in order, and that man had to flee, and he had refuge cities to flee to in the ancient world. Verse 13. And of these cities which ye shall give, 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. Right. Let's go to Genesis 4 and 12, okay? Let's talk about Cain. Genesis 4 and 12, all right? It was refuge cities back then as well. Genesis 4 and 12. Okay, this is Genesis 4 and 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Right. Why is Cain saying everyone that findeth me will slay me? Meaning he is a fugitive and a vagabond, and he knew the law. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him. Meaning the deeper in the spirit, Cain is a so-called Edomite, and it wasn't at the point of time for him to get put to death. And do that mean this murder goes unjustly and he just got away or flee away, or he just got the mark upon him and he just in the land of Nod? Meaning no, and it wasn't at the appointed time, and all of these things has not taken place. And Cain knew the law, and that is why he said, whosoever find me shall slay me. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, meaning leprosy. Verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden, meaning he escaped it and got away. And Cain and Abel knew the law, and the law was here from the beginning, and it was cities of refuge for you to flee to, for any manslayer would not kill you, and they knew that all the way in the beginning. Verse 19. Let's go to Numbers 19, 35 and 19. All right, let's talk about these refuge cities, okay? Number 35 and 19. This is Numbers 35 and 19, okay? The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer, like when he meeteth him, he shall slay, like he shall slay him, meaning the revenger of himself, and not your uncle or cousin, not someone that grabbed it hold on them and you had to flee in the next city and the city of refuge, and until that counsel take place through the elders, and that man himself had to put him to death. Verse 20, but if he thrust, read again, but if he thrust him of hatred or hurl at him by laying of weight, that he die. Verse 21, or in enmity, smite him with his hand, that he die, he that smite him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenge of blood shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him, meaning the revenger of blood shall slay him. Okay, let's drop down to verse 28. Drop down to verse 28. Because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. Verse 29. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generation in all your dwellings. Verse 30, whoso killed any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, but one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Meaning that's why we are reading in Deuteronomy 21 chapter, and if it is no one to witness the murder, and these account has to happen. But if it is a witness and the revenge of blood and things has to be taking place, and in the ancient world everything was done in order, and it wasn't like we can just pick up a rock and stone and just start stoning people on our own, right? That's verse 31. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. 32. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city or his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. Verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Right, meaning we can't pollute the land by blood, and it defiled the land. right? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 19 and 15, all right? Because you can't do nothing with one witness, right? Deuteronomy 19 and 15. Deuteronomy 19 and 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, and any sin that is sinned at the mouth of two witnesses, or at the mouth of three witnesses, shall the matter be established. Meaning, I can't say someone is stealing something and I don't have any witness, or someone accusing me and I don't have any witnesses. And you have to have 2 or 3 witnesses for the matter to be established, whatever that matter is. And in the ancient world, this is going unto unsolved murderers in Deuteronomy 21 chapter, and we know what to do if this matter happened. You have to have 2 or 3 witnesses in the ancient world, right? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 21 and 4. Deuteronomy 21 and 4. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough slacky valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. Verse 5. And the priest, the son of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord thy Yahweh had chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. Meaning through the priests. Verse 6. And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. Verse 7. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Meaning they are kind of saying this and kind of making an oath to the Lord, and we don't know what's going on, and we have made the sacrifice, but we don't know what's going on, and there is no witnesses, and no one is around, but the Lord see all things. And just because this thing had happened, that don't mean this person is going to get away, right? Let's go to Romans 1 and 9. Okay, ain't the Most High as our witness? Right, Most High see everything. Okay, let's go to Romans 1 and 9. Okay. This is Romans 1 and 9. For Yahweh is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of his Son, that without ceasing I make mention of you always in my prayers. Right, the Lord is your witness, and the Lord is going to see these things, and it might not be a witness of a man, but the Lord is still going to bring these accounts to judgment. Right, let's go to the class. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. Okay, the Most High gonna bring everything into judgment, right? This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. Okay, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Right, meaning Yahweh is going to bring everything unto the judgment, and everything you have stolen, something manipulate money out of a person, murder, fornication, adultery, etc. And the Lord is going to bring every single work unto judgment, and every secret thing, and they are not hidden from the Lord, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Right, I mean, Most High see everything. I mean, that's what precepts, Proverbs 15 and 3, the angel of the Lord, The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, paraphrasing, and 2 Chronicles 16:9. Right. So the Most High see everything, and there's plenty more precepts. Let's go back to it. Deuteronomy 21:8. Okay. Deuteronomy 21:8. This is Deuteronomy 21:8, right? Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. Right, meaning, and the blood shall be forgiven them, because they really don't know the matter, and they honestly don't know what's going on. But what happened when you are in the Edomite system? For example, you be in a car and you don't know what's really going on when you are with your so-called friends, and y'all would have gotten life for 30 years, and the Lord don't get down like that, and that is unjust dealings on the left-hand side. Right. Verse 9. So shalt thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. Verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thy hand, and thou hast taken them captives. Right, meaning this is going unto the concubine and things like that. Verse 11. And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to wife. And it's the law. And the Lord said, it is some beautiful heathen that we can have when we go to war and capture the heathen's concubines. Right. Let's go to Numbers 31:2. All right. When Moses went to war with the Midianites, right? And let's see how we took them captives. All right. This is number 31, verse 2. I'll start with verse 1. 31:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, avenge the children of Israel, the Midianites. Afterwards shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. Verse 3. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Verse 4. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. Now we are going to war. Right. Drop down to verse 13. And Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. Verse 14. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over 1,000 and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. Verse 15. And Moses said unto them, have ye and verse 15, and Moses said unto them, have ye saved all the women alive? Meaning, why is Moses saying that? And he was mad, and he was saying, did you save every woman alive? Verse 16, behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam, to commit a trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Verse 17. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that had known man by lying with woman that had known a man by lying with him. Right, meaning kill all the males, the grandfather, fathers, uncles, sons, and kill all the women that have slept with a man. Right, verse 18. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself, meaning them women are going to work for you, and they going to do whatever you want them to do. Verse 19, and do ye abide without the camp 7 days? Whosoever had killed it any person, and whosoever had touched it any slain, purify both yourself and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. Verse 20, and purify all your raiment, and all that is made of skin, and all work of goat hair, and all things are made of wood. Meaning what the Lord means by getting a concubine. When we go to war, we take the women captives, the ones never had a man. And this was in the ancient world through Moses with the law. And no, we can't just go get a concubine on the streets when we want to. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Okay. Deuteronomy 21:12. Okay. Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, meaning to cleanse her and humble her, a new beginning. Verse 13, and she shall put the remnant of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Meaning she shall remain in your house, and bewail her father and mother a full month. So she had a full month to cry and do whatever she has to do, and she might say, saw her grandfather or father or brother, uncle put to death. So the Lord has given her a full month to bewail herself and cry and moan, and then she will be his wife after he sleep with her after that month, and she will be a concubine, meaning a lesser wife. Right. So she's not on the level of the children of Israel. Children of Israel, she's not the same wife. She's another nation. She's a heathen. She's a lesser wife. Let's get some precepts on that, okay? All right. Let's go to Genesis 16:1. Okay. Abraham had Sarah, okay, his wife, and had a lesser wife, okay, a bondwoman, okay. All right. Hagar, Egyptian. Let's go to it. Let's go to some counts of the bondwomen, the concubines. Genesis 16:1. Okay. Genesis 16:1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had in handmaid an Egyptian whose name was Hagar. Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord had restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram, hearkened it unto the voice of Sarai. Verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Sarah and Hagar are not on the same level, but Hagar was called to the wife, but she was a lesser wife and a bondwoman, right? Let's go to Genesis 21:10. All right, let's talk about the concubines. Genesis 21:10. Okay, Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be hers with my son, even with Isaac. The wife of a concubine isn't on the same level as your Israelite wife, and just because he took her as his wife. And it says that in the book of Deuteronomy 21 chapter, in the law, and take her and go unto her, and she shall be your wife. And that don't mean she is on the level with the children of Israel, and she is a lesser wife, a bondwoman, right? Verse 11. Verse 11. And the thing, Slunky, and the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son, meaning Abraham was like, damn, because Sarah was kind of getting on her right now, and it is kind of grievous to him right now. Well, let's see what the Most High say in the next verse. Okay, verse 12. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah has said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. The Lord said unto Abraham, don't be grievous, and don't let that thing bother you, because she is a heathen. Who cares because of the lad and because of thy bondwoman? And listen to Sarah, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Right. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. All right. Back to Deuteronomy 21. Okay. Let's go back to verse 12. Let's go back to verse 12. Okay. 12. Then, Slunky, this is Deuteronomy 21:12, right? Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. Verse 13. And she shall put the remnant of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thy house, and Slunky, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Right. I mean, did David go to war? And did David take concubines? Let's go find out. Let's go to 2 Samuel, start at 5 and 4. Second, hold on. David took concubines, okay? This is 2 Samuel, let's start 5 and 4, okay? David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. Verse 5. In Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. Verse 6. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither. Thinking David cannot come in hither. Right, meaning the Jebusites were in our land, Jerusalem, and them Hamites / heathen, and all throughout the scripture we had to ramshack and beat the heathen down. Right, let's go to 1 Chronicles 11 and 4. Okay. Okay, 1 Chronicles 11 and 4. This first Chronicle 11 and 4, okay? And David and all his servants, Slacky. And David, let me read that again. This First Chronicle 11 and 4. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were the inhabitants of the land. right? Meaning before it was called Jerusalem, it was called the Jebus, and them heathen was in our land before we taken it back and named it back the city of David, right? Jerusalem. Verse 5. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, Thou shalt not come hither. Nevertheless, David took the castle of Zion, which is the city of David. Right, David took Zion, which is the city of David. Right? It's 2 Samuel 5 and 6. Okay? 2 Samuel 5 and 6. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking David cannot come hither. Verse 7. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same is the city of David, meaning David went to war, and that is the point in the ancient world. And them Jebusites and the inhabitants of our land of Jerusalem, and they went to war because they thought we couldn't come in, but we took the stronghold, and the same as the city of David. Verse 8. And David said on that day, Whosoever getteth up to the gutter and smiteth the Jebusites and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's soul, he shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house. Verse 9. So David dwelt in the fourth and called it the city of David, and David built round about from Milo, Slunky, and inward. Verse 10. And David went on and grew great, and the Lord Yahweh of hosts was with him. Drop down to verse 13. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David. Right, David taking him more concubines because they just went to war, and they ramshacked them Hamites and beat them down and taken back Jerusalem and named it the city of David. And he taking him more concubines by spoils and war. Right. So you can preach us about the concubines, whatever. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 21. I think I want 14. Verse 14, I believe. Right, 21 and 14. All right, this is Deuteronomy 21:14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Yes, you can have two wives. Meaning you have humbled her. Meaning you have humbled her and made her your lesser wife, and he went unto her, and you shall not sell her for money or make merchandise out of her. Right. All right. Let's go to verse 15. Verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated. Yes, you can have two wives, but you might want to make sure your finances are good, but that's going to be hard to do because we are in slavery, and you might have the understanding to lead to women, and all of this is in the spirit and how it goes through the spirit. Right. Let's go to the classic. Let's go to Psalms 19 and 7. All right. Psalms 19 and 7. Because this is the law. It's Psalms 19 and verse 7, right? The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making the wise the simple, right? The Lord said the law is perfect, and it's the law, and the whole book is perfect, and nothing in the book besides the animal sacrifice, and that's putting Jake to death, and that's done away with. And you have to understand everything in the law is still this day, and we have to understand that Yahushua came to be the high priest, and the law is perfect, and Yahushua is the law, and also it's account in the Old and the New Testament that they had two wives, right? Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 4 and 5, okay? Deuteronomy 4 and 5, all right? So let's talk about wisdom. Wisdom is Yahushua, right? Okay, the law, statute, commandments. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Okay, Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my Yahweh commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Right. Statutes and judgment is the law, the commandments. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. The commandments is your wisdom and understanding. Let's go to Proverbs 8 and 22. Proverbs 8 it's Proverbs 8 and 22, right? The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old, right? Meaning had wisdom in the beginning, and this is twofold. It is talking about Yahushua. Verse 23, I was set up, just like I can read it again, I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was, right? Meaning Yahushua is the Alpha and the Omega and the beginning and the end. Ever the earth was, meaning he made the earth, angels, and the spirits, right? Verse 24, when there were no depths, I was brought forth, when there were no fountains abounding with waters. This is talking about wisdom. Verse 25, before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. 26, while as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. Verse 27, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he said it, read again. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. Verse 28, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep. Verse 28, it's like in verse 29, when he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandments, when he appointed the foundation of the earth. Verse 30, then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. Verse 31, rejoicing, it's like a rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delight were with the sons of men. Right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Sirach. All right, 1 and 1. All right. Let's talk about wisdom. The Sirach 1:1. All wisdom cometh from the Lord and is with him forever. Right. So the Lord said this is our wisdom in the sight of the nation, and which are the commandments and the Bible, meaning Yahushua. Right. Let's go to Psalm 40:7. All right. Psalms 40:7. Psalms 40:7, right? Okay. Then it's like he then said, I lo, I come in the volume. It's like, let me read that again. Then said I lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. Right, meaning it is impossible to have any understanding about anything in wisdom if you don't know the commandments, which is wisdom. Verse 8, I delight to do thy will, O my Yahweh. Yeah, thy law is within my heart, meaning he delighted just like wisdom delighted in everything the Lord says, and to link up these precept on precept. And now going back to Deuteronomy 21:15, if a man have two wives, and where is this written in the law? And the main point of saying this, that Yahushua is the law and he is the whole Bible. And if you love the Lord, you will accept all of the Bible and just not some parts of the Bible that you like and don't like. And so, other words, you have to love the Lord and all of him. Right. Okay. Let's go John 1:1. All right. Let's go John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Verse 2. The same was in the beginning with God. Verse 3. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Slaki. Yahushua said, I was with Yahweh when he made everything, and just like wisdom was with the Most High in the beginning, ever the earth was, because wisdom is Yahushua, and you have to understand that. Right? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 21:16, I believe. It's 21:16. I think we had 16. All right, 21:16. All right. It's Deuteronomy 21:16. Then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved the firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. Verse 17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he had. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Meaning the right of the firstborn is his. Meaning you can diminish your children. And the Lord put that in the law. Right. Let's go to the Exodus 13:2. All right. Talk about the firstborn. Exodus 13:2. Exodus 13:2. Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever opened the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. Right, and the firstborn is always the strongest. And if you have children and one is beloved and the other one is hated, and you have nothing to do with the children, and you can diminish your responsibility towards your children. Right. Let's go to Exodus 21:10. All right. Genesis 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Right, meaning you can have another wife, and that's lawful. And if the man has the finance, leadership, understanding, the spirit, and the means that is not lustful, and to care for these women and to lead them in righteousness, and that is lawful, and her food, raiment, and her duty of marriage, meaning both wives has to eat, and you can't feed one wife and don't feed the other one. And yes, you can have a favorite wife, but you can't diminish your responsibility. And some father have favorite children, and I don't have to buy shoes for all of my wives at the same time, but I have to make sure I don't let my other wife be barefoot, and you have to make sure you provide for them, or all hell will break loose in the household, right? All hell will break loose in the household, right? Because, a woman can get jealous, all right? Let's go to Sirach 26 and 5. I think 6. Sirach 26 and 6, I think. 26 and 6. Or 5. Yeah, Sirach 26 and 6. But a grieved, this is Sirach 26 and 6. But a grieved of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. Right, meaning a woman can be jealous over another woman, and that is going off for another woman being jealous over another woman, and you don't want to be responsible of making your two wives jealous, right? Let's go to Matthew 25 and 1, okay? It's Matthew 25:1. Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Right, 10 virgins don't really mean that literally, and that means a number of completion. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, meaning meeting one man for marriage, and it is the kingdom of heaven. Right. Let's deal with that. That's Job 19 and 3. All right, that number 10. All right, because it's not physically, okay? Let's get some precepts on that. Job 19 and 3. Job 19 and 3, okay? These 10 times have ye reproached it of me, ye are not ashamed that ye make yourself strange to me. Right, these 10 times have ye reproached me, meaning this isn't physically, right? Let's go to 1 Samuel 1 and 7. All right. 1 Samuel 1 and 7. Okay. All right. Let's stay on this because, because he said, am I not better than 10 sons? You know what I mean? So, roughly paraphrasing. So, right. Okay, but remember, the Most High, she shut up her womb so she couldn't have no kids, right? But let's go into it. This is 1 Samuel 1 and 7. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked it her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Verse 8. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, Slaki. Why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not, and why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? Elkanah said, Am I not better to thee than 10 sons? And Hannah couldn't have children, and the Lord shut up her womb, and she was weeping and sorrowful. And Elkanah said, I am better to you than 10 sons. And he told her, Don't be sad, I am a great husband, and I lead you and protect you. And it's not physically 10 sons that Elkanah Slaki is talking about, right? All right, let's go to the classic, Revelation. All right, 11 and 13. Okay. Let's stay on this. Revelation 11 and 13, okay? And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted, and gave glory to the Yahweh of heaven. Right. The 10th part of the city fell, meaning that's not physically, and 10 is a number of completion, and that means all the city fell and were slain of men 7,000, meaning 7, 3, 10 are numbers of completion in the scriptures in the thousands. Right. Let's go back to Matthew 25 and 11, okay? Means 25 and 1. Matthew 25 and 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, meaning meeting one man for marriage, and it is the kingdom of heaven. Right. Let's go to Revelation 14 and 4, okay? All right. Revelation 14 and 4. This is Revelation 14 and 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. Right. These are they, meaning the 144,000 wasn't defiled by doctrines and different philosophy with the women, meaning Babylon the Great, for they are virgin, meaning these are the same virgin that are meeting Yahushua for the marriage, and meaning they are undefiled and they are spotless, and they that follow and chase the Lamb, meaning Yahushua, and all these men and women chasing him, and all of this is parabolic on the spiritual and physical level, and they follow the Lord wherever he goes, and the first fruit is the right. Let's go to Song of Solomon. Okay. Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon. Okay. This is Song of Solomon 1 and 2. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Verse 3. Because of the savor of thy good ointment, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgin love thee. meaning Israel being ravished with the Lord and on a spiritual level, and we love one another, and we are trying to get bid back into the marriage and everything the Lord says. We love the commandments, the understanding, the judgment, the beautiful things, and the streets of gold and slaves being up under us, and us living forever, and we are ravished these things. And this ointment means this smell that we get, and that is not a physical smell, and that is the savor, and that is what the Lord put out that we love. Therefore do the virgin love thee, meaning if anything was perverse about that. And why is the Lord is saying all of this all through the Bible, in Revelation, Matthew, Song of Solomon, and all the parables in the Bible? That is a love story about Israel and the Lord, and it is nothing perverse and wicked and abominable about having multiple wives. And if it is done in order, and it is out of the commandments, and you know what you are doing as a man and leading your household. Verse 4. Draw me, it's like it draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chamber. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. We will run after thee, meaning, and it is all about the women chasing the Lord, and we are going to run after the Lord and chase him. The king had brought me into his chamber, meaning the Bible, the knowledge, the understanding, and Deuteronomy is a chamber. Revelation are a chamber, and these are chambers that the Lord is bringing us into. Right. Let's go to Tobit 8 and 6, okay? Because we don't want to deal with our sister with lust, okay? This is Tobit 8 and 6, okay? Thou madest Adam and gave him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay of them came mankind. Thou hast said, it's like it is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid alike unto himself. Verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly. Therefore, merciful ordain that we may become aged together, right? Meaning, don't take your sister for lust, and it should be a solid reason why you want multiple wives, other than you want to get your rocks off, and you had a long day of work, and your other Eve made you mad, and you want to get off some stress. And the Lord isn't dealing with that, because these are the daughters of Zion, and not for lust, but uprightly, meaning teach her, love her, provide for her, and do everything that she didn't know, and now she know because you are her head. Right, verse 8. And she said with him, Amen. Right. Let's go back to Deuteronomy, all right? I think I want 21:18. Deuteronomy 21:18. All right, Deuteronomy 21:18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastised him, will not hearken unto them. And that's Jake all over the world being like this and disobeying our fathers and mother. And if it wasn't for the Lord mercy, we would all be put to death today on a physical level. And you are chastening your child and all the time, and he won't listen. Right, verse 19. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gates of his place, meaning the parents are grabbing up this wicked child, and they had to lay hold on him, and the gates are where the elders are and the nation. Right. Let's get some precepts on, talking about the gates. All right. Okay. Let's go to Genesis 19:1. Okay, because Lot was at the gate. All right. Genesis 19:1. He was at the gate. All right. He was into that inside of Sodom with that folly. Okay. He was at the gate. Genesis 19:1. Okay. Genesis 19:1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up. Seeing them rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. Right, Lot was sitting at the gate, meaning you have wicked Sodom and Gomorrah, but Lot is at the gate, and he is not in the midst of the city with the folly and strange smell and crying on the left-hand side, and he is sitting at the gate with the righteous, the elders, and Lot sitting at the gate, and Lot saw them and rose up to meet the angel by sitting at the gate. Right, let's go to Ruth. All right, well, Boaz is sitting at the gate. Let's talk about our forefathers at the gate. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Ruth, I want 4, I think 4 and 1. No. Okay. Okay, this is Ruth 4 and 1. All right, this is Ruth 4 and 1. Then went Boaz up to the gate and set him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, hold such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. Right. And it's talking about Boaz going to the gate and chilling with the elders to figure out this counsel about the inheritance to the next of kin. And he is sitting in the gate with the chief men. Right. Let's go Jeremiah 14:2. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. Stay on the gates. Okay. Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourned, and the gates thereof languished. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Right, meaning the gates or leadership or the elders, the priests, are men of understanding, and our gates languish as a nation. Right, verse 3. And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found the water. They returned it with their vessel empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered it their heads. Right. Let's go to Jeremiah 17. All right. Jeremiah 17:19. All right. Okay. It's Jeremiah 17:19. Thus said the Lord unto me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in, and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem. Right, meaning the kings go in by the gates, the judges go in by the gates, and the chief men go in by the gates. And if you read the gates in the scripture, in its proper context, and that's talking about our eldership and our leaders, men with understanding, where the kings come in, right? Verse 20, and say unto them, hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and it's like in all Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates, right? And all the men at the gates is screaming this at Jerusalem, right? Let's go to back to Deuteronomy 21. I think I want 20. I think I want verse 20. It's Deuteronomy 21 and 20, right? All right. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Meaning his son was eating up everything in the house and drinking up all the wine, and he is a young drunkard. And this is young Jake today, 15 years old, stealing wine from their parents and being rebellious. And he is a glutton and eating up everything and getting high and laying on the sofa playing videos all day and being wicked, right? Verse 21. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. They will stone him with stones, and he was drinking up all the wine and eating all the food and not listening to his parents. And they will bring him in front of the elders to put him to death. Right. Okay. Let's go to Leviticus 5 and 17. Okay, he got to bear his own iniquity, right? So that's why we need grace and mercy. Leviticus 5 and 17. Right, here's Leviticus 5 and 17. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Lord, though he wist it not, yet is he guilty and shall bear his iniquity. Right, he's going to bear his iniquity, and that's why we need grace from our Lord, our Savior, because without him it is impossible, and everyone falls short and everyone goes off. Everyone was once lost, and everyone had to come to the understanding, and all of this is spiritually. Right, let's go to Isaiah 26 chapter 26. Isaiah 26, and it started at verse 14. Okay, Isaiah 26:14. They are slacking. This is Isaiah 26 and 14, right? Okay. They are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made all their memories to perish. Verse 15. Okay, thou hast increased the nation. O Lord, thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Verse 16. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Verse 17. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery, is in pain and cried out in her pains, so have we been in thy sight, O Lord. Verse 18. We have been with child, we have been in pain, we have as it were brought forth the wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Verse 19, thy dead men shall live together with my dead body. Shall they arise awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust? For thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Right. Isaiah saying, my dead body going to rise, meaning when Isaiah come back on the earth, and it's not like he is coming back soon as he be born and in the spirit and start teaching, and everyone is lost. Everything is like the world of old, and we all are coming back, and someone in this world now can be Peter. And what was we doing 5 or 10 years ago, stealing, being wicked? And look at Paul, he was a murderer. And Isaiah said his dead body shall live with their dead body. And that is spiritually, and that is talking about the resurrection. When you come back to this understanding and a physical resurrection in the last days. Right. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 21. Should be 22 now. Verse 22. Deuteronomy 21 and 22. Deuteronomy 21:22. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, meaning his dead body can be hanging on a tree all night, and if it do so, it is a curse of the Most High Yahweh, and you had to bury the body at evening in the ancient world. Right. Let's go to Galatians 3:13. Well, Yahushua, was he a curse for us? Did he take on the curses for us? Okay. Let's go to it. Galatians 3:13. Galatians 3:13. Okay. Mashiach had redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hanged it on a tree. Cursed is everyone that hanged it on a tree. And in the ancient world, it was a cursed thing to be hanged it from a tree. And even to this day in Babylon, and you have Jake getting hanged it in all these states on a tree, and that should giving you a sign that you are the children of Israel, you so-called black, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians. Right. Let's get Joshua 10:25. Let's start at 25, 26, 25. All right, start at 25, right? That's Joshua 10:25, okay? And Joshua 10:25, and Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. Verse 26. And afterward Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the tree until the evening. And Joshua hanged them on 5 trees until the evening, because Joshua knew the law. Verse 27. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the tree and cast them into the caves wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the caves mouth, which remain until this very day. Right. Joshua knew the law, and anybody who is hanged it from the tree, and you have to be taken down by evening and be buried, because that is the law. Right. buried out, took his kinsmen and buried him. Okay, let's go to it. All right, let's go to Tobit 1. Tobit 1:16. Tobit 1:16. And in the time of it's like, read that again. And in the time of I gave many alms to my brethren, and gave my bread to the hungry. Verse 17. And my clothes to the naked. And if I saw any of my nation dead, or cast about the wall of Nineveh, I buried him. Slacky. And if slacky, and if the king Sennacherib had slain any when he was come and fled from Judea, I buried them privily, for in his wrath he killed the many, but the bodies were not found when they were sought for of the king. Right. And he said he buried them privately, because he could have been put to death for that, because they were in captivity, and the king on the left hand side didn't want these things to come to pass. So he was sneaking out to bury the children of Israel, because he knew the law, and he risked his life to bury his nation, and he could have stayed home and stayed safe, but he sneaked it out to go do the commandments in righteousness, right? And righteousness. Let's go to Tobit 2:5. Okay? Tobit 2:5. Then I returned it and washed it myself, and ate my meat in heaviness. Verse 6. Remember that prophecy of Amos, as he said, your feast shall be turned into mourning, and all your mirth into lamentation. Verse 7. Therefore I wept, and after the going down of the sun, I went and made a grave and buried him. Meaning, during the feast day, Tobit was thinking about doing the law while everyone was sipping on their drink, having fun. But Tobit was in heaviness, eating his meat, and he was that much on fire. The Lord, for the Lord, and he knew the dead body of the children of Israel was out there, and he buried them. And that is how much he cared about the law, and that is how we have to be in the last days, right? So this is Deuteronomy 21st chapter, marriage to female captives and the law regarding death by hanging. All right, so I hope that was edifying. I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.